Welcome back to my episode reviews of the original Rescue Bots cartoon. Today, we're taking a look at the episode, The Reign of Morocco. In this episode, Cody and Frankie try to find proof of what Dr. Morocco is really up to. This episode begins with reporter Huxley Prescott summarizing the events of the last couple episodes.
Good morning, Griffin Rock!
Was that a Good Morning Vietnam reference?
Good morning, Vietnam!
We then see Mr. Harrison once again flying around out of control, and the MorBot breaks his helicopter jetpack. Aw, poor Mr. Harrison. Meanwhile, at the Griffin Rock lab, we see Dr. Morocco in the process of selling off a bunch of Doc Greene's technology. Back at the firehouse, we see Boulder taking up a new hobby, painting. Aw, this reminds me of how Bulkhead liked to paint in Transformers Animated. They have so much in common. Why didn't they just call Boulder Bulkhead instead? Oh right, because they already have a Bulkhead in this continuity. Well, it seems like most of the other rescue bots are using their downtime constructively as well. Chase is using Mother Goose rhymes to figure out a new career path for himself. And Blades is watching TV.
So I'm focusing on the other part of our mission. To learn the ways of humans. And what's more human than game shows and cartoons?
Aw, I think Blades might be my favorite senior rescue bot. I'd love to just chill and watch game shows and cartoons with him. Although Heatwave is the exception here, as he is trying to contact Optimus Prime for reassignment.
Priority message from Rescue Force Sigma 17. We await correction. We need reassignment. End transmission.
I wonder why Heatwave can't contact Optimus Prime. What is going on with Team Prime right now that Heatwave can't reach them? Also, I kind of wish that in Transformers Prime, there was occasionally a time where we got references back to rescue bots. Like, maybe we could see Optimus listening to this transmission from Heatwave or something. Maybe they could even put in a little joke here and have the other Autobots ask who this is. Maybe even have RC say that it sounds like Starscream. But Optimus assures them that it is not. You know, the whole joke being that Steve Blum plays both Heatwave in Rescue Bots and Starscream in Transformers Prime. Oh well. We then see that Doc Greene plans to leave Griffin Rock and move back to the mainland. But Cody has a plan for them to stay and get Doc Greene's job back.
But we can't even get near there. Dr. Morocco closed off the road.
We don't need the road.
I want to believe that this was Cody making a reference to Back to the Future.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
You know, in spite of all the complaining I do about flying, I miss it. Especially flying with you.
Aw, thanks, Blades.
Aww. Okay, that's it. Blades and Danny are the best rescue bot and human partner duo in this whole show. I love them so much. So Cody gets Blades and Danny to fly him near the Griffin Rock lab. But they are soon attacked by the MorBot. And is it just me, or does the MorBot's HUD remind anyone else of your HUD in GoldenEye? Also, I guess these bars on the side are the threat level indicators, which I guess means that Chase is slightly more of a threat than Boulder, and Heatwave nearly maxes out the gauge. We then see another news report from Prescott, and it seems that he's now against the MorBot. Aw, poor Mr. Pettypaws. We then see Heatwave racing around a little track outside the firehouse. Aw, this reminds me of the one they have in Rescue Bots Academy. Meanwhile, Chase has decided that his new career will be a gourmet chef. I'd hate to hear what Gordon Ramsay would say about Chase's cooking.
Did you bring your dad's flash drive? 100 terabytes, big enough to hold whatever computer files you saw Dr. Morocco working on.
What? 100 terabytes on a flash drive? That's insane. You'd be lucky to find a flash drive with just 1 terabyte, let alone 100. Even just a normal computer hard drive with 100 terabyte capacity would be very difficult to find and expensive to get these days. Then again, this is Griffin Rock, so maybe they have some kind of fancy futuristic storage that the rest of the world hasn't caught up to yet. Even today, 8 or 9 years later after this episode has come out.
I used to live here, remember? Holographic doggy door. Invisible to people, not to dogs.
I forgot for a second that the Greenes have dogs. Man, it must have taken a lot of training to teach their dogs that they can walk through this particular wall. They must have been really confused about whether walls were solid or not after that. Poor puppies. We then overhear Dr. Morocco talking to someone on the phone who is apparently building an army. I really wish we knew who was on the other end of this line. Wouldn't it be awesome if it was Silas, and this is where Mech got all their technology from? After all, both Dr. Morocco and Mech did build their own Transformers. Dr. Morocco with his MorBot, and Silas and Mech with Nemesis Prime. I wonder if Dr. Morocco shared some of his MorBot tech with Mech to help them build Nemesis Prime. Or maybe it was actually the reverse. Because didn't Mech need to steal Starscream's T-Cog in order to make Nemesis Prime work?
Is that like a T-bone?
Not exactly. It's the organ that allows us to scan vehicles and transform.
But Dr. Morocco's MorBot can transform just fine without a T-Cog. Or maybe Dr. Morocco figured out a way around it, and just didn't share all his technology with Mech. Like maybe he was holding out for more money or something. When Frankie tries to log into the lab computer, but finds that she's been locked out by Dr. Morocco, I think this little animation on the screen is a nod to Jurassic Park. Well, the MorBot chases Cody and Frankie, they set off one of Morocco's bombs, which blows up the entire lab, causing the rescue bots and their partners to be called back into action. Meanwhile, the MorBot continues to pursue the kids, who retreat into Morocco's airship, where they find more than enough evidence to prove that Dr. Morocco was behind everything. Danny helps Cody land the blimp, and the rescue bots finally take out the MorBot. Yeah, that's for Doc Greene's DeLorean, you big bucket of bolts. And we end this episode with the Burnses and the rescue bots being reinstated, and Dr. Morocco fleeing aboard Mayor Lusky's stolen boat. But I have a feeling this isn't the last time we've seen Dr. Morocco. This was another great episode of the original Rescue Bots cartoon. I kind of want to get a MorBot toy now. Unfortunately, he currently goes for over $100 on the current aftermarket. Oh well, maybe one day Hasbro will revisit the MorBot and give us a weaponizer version of the character or something like that. Maybe someone like Brunt could be repainted into a MorBot. But yeah, what else is there to say about this episode? It was a good conclusion to this first half of the first season. I really like some of the spark-warming moments that we got between some of the rescue bots and their human partners, like Blades and Danny, and Heatwave and Cade. Seriously, I think this is the closest we've seen Cade come to showing Heatwave that he actually appreciates him. It's too bad that we didn't get similar moments between Graham and Boulder, and Chase and Chief Burns. And I look forward to seeing Dr. Morocco again in the future. Or is it the past? Well, what about you? What did you think of this episode of the original Rescue Bots show? Let me know down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And join me next time for the next episode of Rescue Bots Small Blessings. See you then.